Good night everyone, this is Paul Daniel Nahus from TriniRuralViews.com. We're taking a new direction tonight. Rather than giving a lengthy article about the political and social spectrum of Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to start doing video blogs and having video interviews from time to time. Tonight I'm going to be discussing the latest, what they say is the ministerial realignment of 2013, or the cabinet reshuffle of 2013, but is really ends up being just the cabinet recycle of 2013. So let's get on with this recycling here. First of all, as I said, it's recycling. We thought we would see some maybe new faces, some kind of hope. Haven't seen much of that. What is apparent is that certain individuals who the nation was calling on to be removed from the cabinet are still there, due to the schools not reopening and a lot of confusion with that. People were calling for Dr. Tim Gopi Singh to be removed. People have been calling on the Attorney General Anand Ram Logan to be removed for quite some time now, years now actually. Those positions haven't been touched. Neither has anyone from that they claimed was part of the so-called cabal that's going on in the government. A lot of speculation, but it's really been it seems to be a rally to protect certain individuals. What went on here now? The recycling begins with the Minister of National Security. You can't say so much a recycling as it's a new face. I know the National Security Ministry portfolio has been one that people have been watching very closely. And from here I'll be going on to each appointment. There was about 12, I believe. 12 issues of reshuffling here. Now we had Emmanuel George, who I have been critical in the past. I must be critical of anyone who has failed in works and failed in national security. He has been moved to make room for Captain Gary Griffith, who you would know is the now former security advisor to the Prime Minister. I guess he'll be the former advisor now that he has this portfolio to handle. In all honesty, I don't think it's a bad pick at all. He has a lot of experience being a captain in the Coast Guard. He seems to be a very intelligent person. What I think is a problem is that he has appeared to be very timid in terms of towing this party line, and a few months ago he announced that he would be leaving the UNC. I don't know how this will affect it now. He's been appointed as Senator, Minister of National Security. With him, it's just like most other appointments in national security, it has to be a wait-and-see approach. If he toes that party line, we're in a lot of trouble. If they've cleared the way for him to do what he has to do, there may be some hope there. Minister of Justice is Senator Emmanuel George. As I said, failed in 2 ministries before, and now he's the Ministry of Justice. The Ministry of Justice deals with criminal justice reform in terms of prison, courts, this type of thing. We've had an attorney before and a justice. Both have failed. Former Justice Herbert Volney. The attorney Moore, nothing seemed to be moving with the Ministry of Justice. Seems to be stagnant. Now they put someone who has a reputation of not working or working little to be Minister of Justice. I really don't see this going forward in any positive way. So let's go on from there. Minister of State in the Ministry of Gender, Youth and Child Development is Miss Riza Ahmed, sorry. Now, it's not someone I know very well about their career, but the ministry itself has been in a lot of turmoil with the Youth Council, with gender issues, child development. Nothing can seem to get off the ground. The youth are in crisis, child development is in crisis, gender issues are in peril, and nothing's getting moved. It seems to be a very stagnant ministry. Hopefully it'll go forward from here, but there doesn't seem to be too much hope in this ministry. It's just there's a lot of confusion going on, and this may or may not end well. Nothing has been going good so far. So let's go on again. Minister of Communication. Now, they have removed Jamal Mohammed as a senator and as a minister to make way for Mr. Gerald Hadeed, which we'll come to afterwards. It was a long time coming to remove Mohammed, as from early as being appointed as the Minister of Communications. He wrote a private letter referring to himself as an insignificant Muslim Indian from Sawa. In an attempt to seem humble, he kind of made himself look like a fool. It was all downhill from there. as Minister of Communication, he has really contradicted himself in a lot of statements. I mean, he was in a delicate position between being the link between cabinet and the people. He was not performing well. Well, they gave him anything to work with, really. Contradicted himself on, especially stances on the Jack Warner issue, on cabinet's message to the people, and it was just total mess. Mr. Gerald Hadeed, not having a great deal of a great background in communications, or a great deal of experience, I should say. He was the former chairman of the airport authority, which was said to do a decent job in. I think they should have put him as an ambassador if they wanted to give him something. This seems like too much for him to handle. Not that he's not capable. I can't see Mr. Hadeed taking a grilling from the media, and it will not end well if they look to challenge him. So he's going to have a task there, and it's going to be difficult to clean up the mess that's going on, because if the mess in cabinet continues, the Minister of Communications is a spot where there's nothing good can come out of it. Next, the Minister of Works and Infrastructure, the Honourable Dr. Suruj Rambachan, named to be one of the head members of the so-called cabal. Dr. Rambachan, his doctorate in question, as it was from questionable places, he has been someone that the public has thrown a lot of fire at, and for good reason. He doesn't seem to be putting anything positive out there in terms of his role as a minister. He was a minister of local government, and local government is in a mess. So we can imagine what will happen with works infrastructure. Also, works infrastructure, there's always a lot of talk about big contracts passing on bacchanal and corruption. I don't see this helping the situation. He has again remained protected by the Prime Minister and put in this position. Moving on, Minister of Transport, Honourable Stephen Cadiz. Well, not sure you can get any worse than Chandresh in the position, but Cadiz can make a good attempt at that. As the Minister of Tourism, a lot has been shown, little has been done. All the initiatives, Stephen Cadiz, again, maybe he would have been a good ambassador, he's a good diplomat. As a performer, well, there have been complaints from his constituency that he's only seen there to take pictures for magazines and so on. Doesn't reflect very well on him. Ministry of Tourism has had a lot of problems with him there, and tourism really hit an all-time low last year, especially during the carnival season. It hasn't been very good. So they're going to put him in transport, and we'll see what happens there. But I hope that's not a repeat of what happened in tourism. Now moving to the Minister of Tourism now. The Honourable Chandresh Sharma, former Minister of Transport, endless bacchanal in that ministry, endless problems. Not a very diplomatic person, and they're going to put him to meet with diplomats. Means the tourism ministry is going to be in a big mess right now. That's how I foresee it, or even bigger one. Not to spend too much time on Sharma, as you shouldn't spend a time on a character like that anyway. The Minister of National Diversity and Social Integration, Honourable Rodger Samuel. The Ministry of National Diversity and Social Integration is one way that not many people understand. It was a new ministry formed last year. I still don't fully understand it. The former minister, Clifton de Couteau, has said in being appointed he doesn't know what the ministry is for, but he's going to do his job. That tells you enough about it. All they have done so far, it seems, has been hand out flags and look for mascot for the country, and just these things that you don't need an entire ministry for. You don't even need an entire department for. You can hire a few people to do that for you as part of another ministry. But I guess everyone had to get a walk somewhere. And Rodger Samuel being appointed there now. Rodger Samuel has threatened to leave the Congress of the People, and they've had meetings and so on. So this looks like a way of keeping him there in EPP. That's how I see it. There's nothing further than that. He was the former Minister of State in the office of the Prime Minister. Don't know what he's going to do there, because the ministry itself is something it seems has been created to generate employment. Next, the Minister of Local Government, the Honourable Senator Marlene Coudray, who has had a bad reputation in terms of politics with what happened with her defecting from the COP to be deputy, I believe is the deputy political leader of the UNC. She has been a very good mayor. Give Jack her jacket. In this case, Marlene Coudray has been an excellent mayor of San Fernando from what I've heard and from what people have expressed. She knows local government. It's a great position for her. Excellent pick for local government. But here's the problem now. She should have been given that position from the get-go, as soon as she was put in a couple of years back. Why is it now? Because local government is a couple months away? It seems so. It's too late for reform. You've put her there too late now. she has a lot to contribute to there, but in the next year and a half, well, the next couple months for the local government, next year and a half general election, what can she really contribute at this late point? They've put in there too late, and it seems to be it's too late to really salvage anything. They're looking to salvage probably some votes. So again, this appointment was not because she earned it, was because of a political influence. She should have been there from before. Next, Minister of Land and Marine Resources, Jairam Seemungal. Let me just, the only comment I have to make is that you broke up the Ministry of Housing and Land and Marine Resources before. They've been breaking up these ministries. It looks like another favour work. You're breaking up our next ministry. You break up another ministry to give someone else a work, and it just doesn't make any sense right now. It seems like, and well, put that on top of a lot of, they have been re-engineering their campaign and been asking people to email and if you want to help, and especially Prime Minister said this evening, she wants to work with everyone and join us. So work with everyone seems to mean handout work. So next, Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Dr. Roodal Monilal. He's been Minister of Housing for however long. Controversy up until a few months ago. He's been abusing ministry vehicle and abusing the blue lights and all these kind of things. Now they just put him, they make the Ministry of Housing and the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. The same man who said that he's a landlord for criminals for the HGC. They have now changed the title to Minister of Housing and Urban Development. I guess it sounds pretty, but there's nothing that's going to be developed in the urban society with Dr. Monilal there. That's the way I see it. It's going to be more of the same thing. That he shouldn't even be there. It's more of the same thing. It's going to repeat over and over. Of course, some people will get very lucrative housing contracts. We know that. But moving on. Minister of Gender, Youth and Child Development, Honorable Clifton the Couteau. That was formerly Marlene Coudray's ministry. Clifton the Couteau, the man who said that he was appointed to be a minister to do a job. He doesn't know what the job is, but he'll do it. Well, I hope he's not clueless to this. This is an important ministry now. This deals with youth, gender issues and child development issues, as the name implies. You can't come into there clueless, because the youth, as I said, youth in peril, gender issues, it's child development issues. A lot of it is going insane in this country. I don't think it's a good pick at all. They should not have put him there, because his last ministry was to buy flags and to get a mascot for the country. I mean, really? We don't need more fluff and more flair. We need some action. Doesn't seem to be a man of action, or a man that will get it done past the cosmetics. So that basically sums it up for the minister's appointments and so on. The ministerial recycle of 2013. That was it right there. Some more general comments. The Prime Minister had an opportunity tonight to really hit hard, to really bring out some new people, to move some of the people that people are calling on to get out of there, to clear up some of the confusion. She had a golden opportunity. This was her last shot before local government. She took it to be political. There's not much to be done and to be said in terms of her cleaning up. There's no cleanup. She took everything, she put it in a dustpan, she threw it in the dustbin. She came and she put it back on the desk. Everything she threw there, she put back on her desk, and people have gotten new portfolios. They're going to get similar perks. They're going to get to a point who they want to appoint in certain positions. Everyone that has been called on to be removed has just been put in a different place. It's not anything that I see bringing the country forward. Our country is in a big crisis now in terms of a lack of leadership. We haven't seen any improvement. This doesn't look like we're going to see improvement overall. The cabinet recycle is just that. It's just recycled people who have not performed, who have performed for themselves only, going back into different places. That is the end of it right there. I will say no more on the issue. Time seems to be ticking down now. I'm not going to make this too lengthy for you. This is Paul Daniel Nahus from TriniWorldViews.com. Currently have over 6,000 readers worldwide per month. Looking to make that even more with a viewer base. So, until next time, take care. This is Trini World Views, keeping you in the loop.